All right, let's hit it. Carmela, what do you got for questions?
I set up all the points and the labels, and I started to friend request new people, and it works amazing. I'm really fascinated. And I just wonder, I'm in network marketing, of course, and I just wonder how you manage to, you get all the new friends, then I welcome them with a message. Some reply, some don't. And how do you start to carry on until you come to the point to give them the opportunity to join a Zoom meeting with me if they're ready to get more information about my business opportunity? Do you know what I mean? I'm from Austria. I don't speak English so well, so you must get used to my dialect.
Your English is amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
So,
But you get the point?
Yeah, totally. And, actually, I'll share kind of, Sven and I met the other day and we were going over some ideas that I had with the CRM to kind of fine tune it a little bit, because like you just mentioned, sometimes there's these new friends you start conversations with who don't reply. And that's where I was starting to get stuck. Like, okay, I don't really want to put them in a warm-up folder because then I can't really broadcast the warm-up folder if I have people in there that aren't connecting with me, because then it just looks weird because they're not going to respond to that if they didn't respond to my hi, I'd like to get to know you message. So I'll show you kind of what I put together, and I'll just pull up a couple of example conversations to show you how some other people have approached me with getting on a Zoom meeting, which I thought was fantastic, because a lot of times if you, just feel it's a qualified lead, I mean, I wouldn't say to do this with everybody because you're going to waste your time, but if it's someone like you really feel you can connect with and a qualified lead, even if you're just getting on for a coffee chat, like let's get to know each other type chat for 15 minutes. And then that's where the door can open, where they're going to be, more prone and open to hearing what you have to offer. And the nice thing is you'll be able to lead it one way or another. Like if they're very happy with their business and they're not really open to looking at yours, well, then you can have a fallback with MGC, right? So that way you have something to serve and give them value. So I'll share my screen, and I'm probably going to stumble trying to explain this because when you start something new, it can be a little bit even confusing in, your own mind if you made it. So, but I have a feeling that this is going to work. I really do. All right, so here's what I got. I created a very messy looking flow chart because I'm not good at flow charts, right? But this is kind of, yeah, I'm not good at flow charts. So go ahead and make fun of me for my disorganization. This is not my jam, but I did my best. So, but I'm going to explain it. Okay. Oh, I need to find like some good videos on how.
One question, Maria, do I have to screenshot it, or can I come back somewhere? Because I also translate from English to German,
It's going to be recorded, but I'm going to put everything in boards too. And I'll put like pictures in, and I have a document too. But I'll just explain this a little bit, and I think it's easier to look at it from here too. So I'll kind of go back and forth. So here's kind of what we have, right? We're starting either with new friends or we're starting with our existing network. So you can see here, this is new friends, week 1 through 4. And then this is our unlabeled existing network. So there's a couple of things that happen. When we're using the connector to add somebody, sometimes we use a message and we're being bold and we get straight to the point. That's going to look a little bit different, right? Like if you're using a bold message to approach somebody with the connector and they respond warmly that they're open to taking a look, that person is going to go right through your funnel faster, right? They're going to go right into your qualifying area. Because if they said, yes, I'm open to taking a look, well, now you're qualifying them to see if they're even worth like continuing, right? So that's kind of what I figured would be beneficial, right? Because we have the connector with a message, the connector without a message, and the connector with a warm message. So there's got to be some.
Does not work with the message. It just sends the request, not the message.
Mine hasn't either. I actually submitted a support ticket yesterday with some booms and videos, so they're looking into it. But a lot of people theirs do. So that's where people get stuck. Like, well, where do I move this person? Okay, so let's go each scenario. You use the connector with a message to the point, and they don't respond to you. Well, at that point, what you can do is move them into your new friend label because they accepted your friend request. They just didn't answer your message. So this is broken down by the weeks of the month, week 1, 2, 3, and 4. So whatever week of the month it is, that's where I put them in the label when they accept my request. So right now it's July 13th. Everyone that's accepting my request is going here. And this is for people that I'm not having an active conversation with yet. They didn't respond to my message, or I sent no message. We have not connected. If we are starting to connect and have conversations, then I'm going to move them out of there because I don't want to keep anybody in here. I want to be able to use the broadcast feature. And if I have people in here that I'm connecting with and conversating with, the broadcast feature won't make sense. So I'll give you an example of that today. So last night, my broadcaster was sending out, and I forgot to move this person right here into a Melaleuca tribe because she's already in Melaleuca. So we had already had a conversation. I forgot to move her out of that folder. I used my broadcaster and it looked kind of dumb, right? But I just used my voice messenger and I was like, oh, you met my connector or my broadcast, blah, 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 whatever, it doesn't matter. But what I should have done when we started talking was moved her into a folder, right? That corresponded. So back to here again. So go back here. All right, so let's say that somebody responds to your message with the connector and they want more information on your business. Well, then you're going to move them into a qualifying stage. And these are ones that I added, right? Because before it was just warm up and ask, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Well, the problem that I was running into was not being able to use my broadcaster to schedule out and say, hey, did you have a chance to look at that information yet? Or I was running into the problem where some people had looked at the information, but they're in that follow-up cycle like 500 times where you have to follow up. So there's these different layers of conversation, and I wanted to be able to divide it up so I could use the broadcast for exactly the point in the conversation somebody was at. So qualifying means this is where you're starting to, talk to them, ask them questions. What are they doing? Getting to know their pain points a little bit. And then once they give you the go ahead and okay, yes, send me information, and you've sent the information, then you move them to a sent folder. And that way they can sit here. And again, you can use the broadcast feature if you want, or manually do it. It doesn't matter, to go check up with them to see if they've had a chance to look at the information. And then from there, I move them to my first follow-up. Like if I've sent the broadcast, I can automatically move the broadcast from this label to this label. Like, hey, did you have a chance to look at that information yet? What did you like best about what you saw? So that's kind of my thought process with this is I'm qualifying them, I'm sending them information, and then I'm sending the very first follow-up to ask them if they've taken a look. And people will stay in here if they haven't looked yet. So that way it's a lot easier on me, because then from there, what happens is sometimes people are ready to get started right away. Other times they're not ready, and you still just need to keep following up 7 to 13 to 20 times. That's what the Monday, Wednesday, Fridays are for, because someone's looked at information. So your messages can be either generic to bump up the conversation, or it can be very to the point. Are you ready to get started? Right? Is this a better time for you? So that's why I did it that way. And then down here, I kind of separated it one more layer further. If somebody is like, send me your link, I am getting started, I'm excited, then I'm putting them here, because those are the ones that are raising their hand the highest. So I wanted to be able to separate those different levels of prospects. Is everyone with me so far? Am I making sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I'm hoping I'm not making this more complicated than it is, but to me, in my brain, it makes sense. So, all right. So let's back up the train. Now we've got people that we're sending a warm message to that are not responding with our connector, or people that we're sending no message to. Again, they're going in the new friend folder. And the reason I did this next part, holding tank, is because there are some people where you're still in that middle of the conversation, but it's not time yet to move them to the next step, or they're not responding. And let me just show you, like this to me was like an aha powerful thing. Yesterday, I was sending out broadcasts to my new friend folder because these are people I haven't really connected and conversated with yet. What do you mean?
Where is she coming?
After church. So
After church.
you're more than welcome to call her, but probably it ends at 9:30, I think.
It's
Okay. So anyways, again, let's just say, and what you're going to do is, so Samantha and I were talking, we're like, if we could just set up a certain day, like what if on every single Saturday, you're sending a broadcast out to the prior week for your new friends, right? So right now we're in week 2. Come Saturday, I'm going to go broadcast to anybody that's left in my week 2 new friend folder to connect. And so I showed you my message. It was really generic. It was like, hey, I just wanted to pop in here and say hi. I hope you're having a really great week. I'm looking forward to getting to know you and following your journey more. What's something exciting that you've been working on this year? Like that was my message to connect. And here's the mind-blowing thing. All these people that are sitting here in this holding tank did not respond to that. Why accept my friend request if you don't want to talk to me? So here's where it was like that aha moment. Like, I don't want to waste my time on these people, moving them through a warm-up process and all that crap, if they're not even going to respond to my, hey, thanks for connecting message. So that's why I created that. So I have all these new friends. And if I want to use the broadcast, I need to move them somewhere to qualify them as my friend, essentially. That's why I created the holding tank. So I can broadcast and have the label moved to the holding tank, and they're going to stay in this holding tank until they respond to me. So this gives me the ability to decide, okay, maybe I'll go spend some time engaging on these people's profiles, checking them out, making sure they're people I want to connect with, maybe loving on their stories a little bit, and try again, right? Like I'll come back the next week and reach out to this one again, which is going to be on Mondays. Okay, so Saturday, it's the new friend connect. Sunday, I'm doing my engaging. Monday, I'm going to broadcast the holding tank with the generic, how was your weekend type message. If they do not respond to that, and I see that they've actually read it, I'm going to unfriend them. There's zero purpose. If someone has seen my message 2 times and hasn't responded, and this is my opinion, take it or leave it, I don't want to be friends. That's more effort than I need to spend. And there's 100,000 million bazillion people in the world that need me, right? So that's my thought. What do you guys think of this so far?
There's a bazillion people after you're right.
Right. I want to find those circles that are bright and juicy oranges, Rick.
That's right. I love it because you got the picture. We're sorting them. Boom, 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 boom. And that's it.
Right. That's what this is doing. This is sorting. So does this kind of sound good so far, y'all? Go ahead, Carmela.
Yes. Yes, it does. I think I made a mistake because all new friends I added, I sent a message, a welcome message, and thank you for accepting my friend request. And now they are in the label me.
That's okay. You can just go back and send a broadcast out to pop up that label, right? Like you can go send a broadcast out. Maybe you do 25 people a day and just say, hey, how's your week been going so far? Because that will pop up the conversation back up. And if they're responding to you, you can move them respectively. Right?
And when I sent this message, which label do I choose next? Because I don't know which answer and which not. So I put them into the holding tank. Okay. Thank you.
Tank. Yeah. Yep. And that's why I can't even believe it. I'm like, holy crap, 40, 46, 65, 60, like almost 70 people didn't respond to my message that connected with me. What is the point of that? And I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and give them some grace, right? Because they just don't know yet that I'm a really cool friend. So I'm going to give them a little time. But this helps you sort. So you can converse. What?
I think you're cool.
This helps you sort so you can talk to the people who actually want to talk to you. So, okay. We've sent out our broadcast.
My new friend, like I don't send a message to my connected. So on my friend request, I send like a broadcast.
That's what I did.
Okay. When they do not respond, I just send a broadcast to new friend and put them in the holding tank for the week 1, 2, or 3, or 4.
Yep. Whatever week it is, you're moving them to that week's holding tank and they stay there until they respond.
I got it.
And then on Monday, because if you're doing Saturday, if you're doing your connection to your new friends and you intentionally take time like Sunday night when people are actually online to go sit down for 20 minutes, engage with those people that are in the holding tank, right? Then Monday, send a broadcast to the holding tank. And you can leave them in holding tank. Like you don't have to move
what kind of broadcast will you send them after?
How was your weekend?
Yeah, simple.
So Maria, one question. When I sent the broadcast tomorrow on Friday for my already existing label me friends, I say, hey, how was your week? And put them into 3 NF holding tank for week 3. Is this right? Did I get you right?
So you would put them in 2 because they were all added during the 2nd week of the month, right? At this point, it really doesn't honestly matter, Carmela, where you put them, because what you're going to do is the following week, whatever label they're in, you're going to get them out, or at least by the next month. So I often fall behind and don't get people out of these labels fast enough, but I know, okay, I'm going on to the 3rd week of August now. I better get my stuff together and go get people out of here before I have to add new people into there. So at least by the following month, when you need to start filling that label again, get it empty. The goal is weekly, but if you fall behind, at least by the month before the next month starts, right?
You sent them like another broadcast, say like in a week or something.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is send out my new friend broadcast on Saturdays, because that gives me enough time, right? Monday, I'm going to send it to anyone that's left in the holding tank. If on Monday I'm looking through those messages after they've sent and I see people have read it and didn't respond, I'm probably going to unfriend them. Because if you're not going to respond to my message twice, like, shame on you.
So these are people that are coming out of Connector, going into the Friends week 1, 2, 3, and 4. They respond, they go into the holding tank. and
If they
every-
respond, I'm moving them to the warm up, because here's the thing, if they're responding to me, they're active and they're having a conversation. So therefore, I'll give you an example. All right, so let's go. Let me find one, hang on.
Man, that's a long message. Hey, Maria. Oh, she sent you.
Where'd that message go? I just had somebody out for an example and then I lost it. Hold on.
No worries.
Okay, so I left this like this for a purpose. So she was somebody that I had added in my week 3 new friend label. She actually reached out to me first. I responded. So now I don't need to necessarily put her in the holding tank because I know that she's in a business. I can tell already that she's in a business. So I'm going to automatically move her to warm up. Right. And I'm going to sit here conversating right now. So company you're with, good morning. I love networking, connect with other mailers type of person. Absolutely. I totally agree. It's also nice having my newsfeed filled with extra positivity. I find entrepreneurs always have best attitudes.
So you're waiting to get her to ask. You want to do the ATQ.
Well, I already know she's in a business because she's asking me all types of questions about it. So I'm just going to say, what company are you with and what all are you doing? Stay organized and generate leads.
You consider that to ask? You consider
That's my ask. I just asked her.
Just move her now.
That's my ask. So now I moved her. I started that initial ask and she's just going to stay there until she responds to me.
Yeah.
She responds to me. That's where I'm, what?
That's where she goes into holding tank?
Nope. The holding tank is only for new friends.
Okay.
So she was a new friend. She started conversating with me and she's active. I removed her from new friend. I don't need a holding tank because I already went straight for the point.
Okay.
What are you using to automate? Because she's going to respond back to me with what she does or doesn't do. So I asked, and she's going to stay here and asked until she responds. Now, if she responds to me and says, I'm not doing anything, and I'm like, have you ever looked into anything that can help you have hundreds of conversations on autopilot? And she says, yes, I'm interested. I'm going to move her to qualifying. And then I'm going to continue that. What?
She's ready to ask. See her? She's going to, there it is. I'm Modera.
I'm wondering if she's reading my questions.
Maria, when you say we have to get them out from the folders, holding tank 1, 2, 3, 4, but they don't respond. Do they stay in this tank or where do we put them?
Right. Do use TeamZ boards. All right. I'll show you this combo. So they're going to stay in holding tank if they're not responding to me. And then at some point I'm going to delete them and move them to a deleted folder. Because if they're not responding to me, I'm not going to stay friends with them. You know what I mean? Unless you look at their profile and you're like, this is someone I really want to know. You kind of have to just use your judgment, right? All right. So she's in.
You delete
What?
them really fast, actually, at least for weeks or 2 weeks, and then they are gone again.
Yeah. Within 2 to 4 weeks, if they're not responding to me and I've engaged a couple of times and they're still not, like,
Yeah.
that's a one-way friendship. I'm not all about that.
Do you also have folders for network marketing or just for MGC?
Yeah. So I have, holding tank. All right. So this right here, I'll just kind of fly down this real quick. Engage is your current network. All right. And I mean, if you want to move people to an engaged folder that are new friends, that's up to you. You do what you want. I just use it for my current network, because here's what happened. We have all of our unlabeled people that are an existing network, and there's two ways to get through labeling them. Their birthday messages, right? When their birthday messages go off for the day, if they're not responding to you, you move them into a label me folder, because they're not responding and they need to go somewhere. They need a label. And then the other way is the generic broadcast to bump up conversations. The broadcast is going to automatically move them to label me and archive the message so that it's out of the way. But if they respond to you, then you can move them in the engage folder, which again is week 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever week they actually responded to me. That's where I'm putting them in an engage folder. So therefore, again, I know by next month or by next week, I got to get to the point of the ask with this person, or move them to a just friends folder or a just network marketing folder, right? That's kind of where my current network goes.
Short question. Is it possible with the birthday message to change the label as well?
Nope.
So I have to do it manually.
Yeah, that's kind of like part of my DMO is after I see my birthdays go off, I'm looking at the labels.
Thank you.
And there's not that many, right? And so, yeah, and this is what I have for like my current network. I have, you know, friend circle, which is people that I've prospected that aren't interested, but they're good cheerleaders, or they're like my super close friends. I have network marketing and entrepreneurs. This could be people in my network that I've asked and I want to stay connected with and they're not interested, or people that I haven't asked yet, but I have tags on them letting me know if I've asked them or not, right? And then I have family. I have deleted. I have people I don't know if I want to keep them in or not, pending deletion. But primarily, like, I'm focusing on new, and I'm focusing on bringing those conversations to the point of the ask. You can ignore those. I have to get rid of those. That's before I came up with this other thought process. So let's go back to this conversation right now, just to kind of show you. Okay. I am obsessed with boards. It's one of the best. I had a dream about boards last night. Isn't this so sad? I literally did. I was thinking.
It's a good tool.
I was thinking about this. It's one of the best things that's ever happened for my ADHD brain.
That's funny. That's funny.
I used to use Teamsy, and that was great until I found something better.
There you go.
Now, everything I need is actually right in Facebook, and I don't need to go elsewhere to enter my prospects' information. Plus, it generates hundreds of leads for me weekly, qualified leads.
Don't say nothing to Bo, but you're a better trainer.
Yeah, she's the best.
Does my follow-up and reach outs. Oh my goodness.
That's why if anybody that's into MCC is not on these calls at 7 in the morning and trying to learn more, because this is where the learning center is, because it's hard. I mean, at my level, I'm way behind. I'm like 2 months into this thing. I come every day because there's something to learn.
So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to leave her and ask until she responds to this one, because I keep asking. I'm trying to get her to answer me, right? So if she says, no, I haven't, and I'm going to say, oh my gosh, friend, you need to look at this. Like, it will change the game for your business. And when she says, show me information, then I'm going to send her my boards page, right? And if you guys haven't made a boards page or a go card with information to make it nice and simplified, I encourage you to do that. It makes such a difference to have it just all right. I need to fix that picture. I don't like how that looks, but it's all right there. I don't have the prices on here because I want them to ask me for information, but I have everything on here. I made one for my own business too, for Melaleuca, because I was tired of going back and forth in conversations with Melaleuca. So
What I
I was
like about the board, you can put a message or chat in the bottom of it.
right, because I have that, like on this one, I have talk on Messenger. Ready?
Man,
So-
that thing's grown.
What?
You increased it. Your Melaleuca one has a lot more info on it.
Oh, it's the same that I had on there before.
show everybody how they build those. I mean, where they can build it. Because
Guys,
remember,
these
I
boards-
stole yours.
So I think actually what you can do, did you ever try that, David, to see if it lets you just use the template?
No, I didn't do that. I just went through and did exactly what you told me. I didn't try that.
So I think if you guys want, you can experiment and try this. But I have it in here under the MGC board. I have making MGC page items. Because I didn't think about the fact that you could actually like copy and paste it. So
But that's what I do with my people. I make them copy and paste my board to their board.
right. So if you click this and you go to look at it,
I'm gonna check mine now. Get it.
here's the thing, Amory, if I put my page in here,
Yeah.
that people can copy and paste it, if they like monkey around and edit it, is it going to screw mine up if I have it like in there for a template?
So what I tell people is look at my board and bring a screen or copy and paste it
Yeah.
to
Well,
like.
they can do that, but I'm talking about use as a template, right? Where they can just like
I
go.
don't think I tried that, it did not work.
I know that I'm gonna look it up because I know there's a way to do it because I joined some advisor boards and they had templates that you could copy and just insert your own information. I'm gonna play with that today. So
Probably to be changed. You gotta be careful with your links and all that too.
I have an idea. What I'll do is create the page in here and I'll leave the link blank
Yeah.
so that
There we
people
go.
just copy paste it. I'll do that today so that you guys can do it. But essentially what you'll do is once I have it in here, I can delete all this other junk. I'll make the actual page in here. And then you'll be able to just copy and paste it to your own board. Like you have to copy and paste it to your own board and then you'll click edit.
Yep.
So I'll make it so that you can actually like insert your own links.
Yeah. Perfect.
I'll copy the one you made last night for the new free, whatever you
That's a
call
great
it.
idea. Yeah, do that too. So I'll make this, let's call this,
That would be
Uh,
super helpful, that would.
Just as a FYI, Maria, so if I go
Yes.
to that page and click, there's a little white square that comes up and you click on that, right? It puts a check mark in that reclaim your time page. If you check on it, it'll let you make a copy.
oh, perfect.
And then I go to my board and just paste it in there and it's over there now.
Even better. Nice.
So what did he do? What is he saying? What did you say, Rick?
You want to share your screen so you can show?
Hallo, liebe Violetta, ich schicke dir gerne den Link zu meinem Kalender.
We changed
Oh.
channels? Did we change channels? Let's see. Hold on just a second. Where am I here?
That's funny.
Man, I don't understand what she was saying.
Last night I was trying to watch Zootopia and all I got was like Italian words on it, Zootopia. What the heck's wrong with this channel? Anyway, yeah, so let me share my screen real quick.
Go for it.
So here's Maria's board.
Yeah.
And here's the page. Where's the page? Where's the page?
Template page right there.
Okay, not this one.
Yeah, I
That's
changed the
good.
word.
That's it.
Okay, so then it's you click on that and it has all these nice little pages she has, but here's the one that we want. Down here. So there's a little, where's the box? Right there's a box in here. Okay, hold on.
That's because you already have something selected to paste. That's why you have to close that out.
Oh,
The upper left corner. See the blue or it's the blue bar at the top? There you go.
gotcha.
There it is.
Yeah, so right there, you see how that little
Yeah.
empty spot? You click on that. It'll bring you up over here in the top right, copy. And I can put it over anywhere I want over here. And paste here. And it'll paste it right in there.
Is it totally open? Is it the whole thing?
Show how you have to actually click it to edit it because otherwise you're gonna have my info in there. So you have
Yeah.
to click it to edit
All right.
at the top. So go back and click on the page that you just had open.
Okay, so here's my page right here.
Yep, but you have to
Okay.
edit it. So click it. Click.
Oh, edit, yeah, right there.
Top
Edit.
right corner, click edit. And now you have to
And-
go down to the place where the link is, where it says get started, and click on get
Yeah.
started.
Yeah.
Up higher,
That black box.
that black box, click that. And put your own link in there.
Yeah.
And then click save, because otherwise you're going to send everybody my link, which I'm fine. Like, you want to refer people to me, that's cool.
Don't be so funny. Don't be so funny. But you know what I like about boards is that it does let you create a quick web page, capture page, the whole process. And
love it.
yeah. Well, anyway, so I hope everybody got that.
Yeah.
Any
Maria, how do I add my new board? Your board, I forgot how. But
What?
made it-
I got
When I
distracted.
add the one I made last night, I want to add it to your board.
Okay,
Do I
so
make
why
it
don't you
longer
go
or what? Yeah.
add it into the template one, but then edit the button that you have for the link and just take like, and put like insert your link here, or do something, just take the link out so that people can put their own link in there. Because otherwise some people might
Do I make a new folder or do I make it the text? I forgot.
go in the templates and just insert it, like copy and paste it into the template folder.
Okay,
And then click edit and remove your link so that people don't accidentally not put their own link. And I'll tidy that folder up a little bit and give a better explanation. Maybe I'll make a little quick loom about it. All right, so back to the focus here. Did we lose Carmela? I think, oh no, she's still there. Okay. So let's go back to, oh, there we go. I see you're friends with Ed. I use this program for a while now. I use a program now site. It uses AI and actually finds my prospects, compose message funnels, emails, campaigns, etc. Oh, okay. I have not used my site. I have not
I used Now Site and I didn't find it very good at all. That's why I changed.
I have heard.
Yeah, it was
from
really, really clunky. It was awful.
Hello. Friends, they found the MGC platform to be much more user friendly. That is
Yeah,
great.
we need to come up with some now site rebuttals or whatever you want to call them, because all those now site people always try to recruit us and we always try to recruit them. And we're always going back and forth about what's, you know, it becomes a,
Yeah,
She does
I
it
got
more than-
it now, because I'm not really familiar with it.
me either.
One thing I found was better with, or seems better with Now Site, but I don't know how to use it with my Go cards yet, is the AI. It was really simple to get in and to do AI. And I don't know, I haven't worked out yet because I'm too busy trying to learn how
I
to
think
do it on here.
I think the flip side is with MGC, you know, it's all in one place, but also, you know, with the Go card, you can create the sales funnel on the landing page and lead capture pages that lead to lead, like you can do all of the things with it, right? And then also, what was I gonna say? Say something else.
Just a little something for you. Now Site is email based only. It's not Facebook or any of that.
No, it's
Who
not.
wants that then? Who wants that? We can do that with so many other things. This is the money right here. But this Mara is a perfect example. She's on it. She's all over it.
So what did she say about the Facebook CRM? What does that mean? Does she think?
I don't know. She knows
You
that,
know-
obviously.
When I first joined and I saw that they call it the Facebook marketing system in the back office of my Go cards, I was thinking of that. I mean, we don't have to go anywhere else because everything is right here. Our prospects are on here, our customers are on here, our expansion plans are on here. Everything is in one place.
Yeah.
Chat. Automation program last night. Okay, so let's go back to this, right? So with your birthday messages, if they are responding to you and you don't know what you want to do with them yet, that's where you move them to an engaged folder. If they're not responding to you, put them in label me. It might be someone that you need to get rid of, right? The broadcast, I have it move them to label me. It archives the messages. If they're responding to me and I'm not sure what to do with them yet, I put them in engage. And it's kind of like, for me personally, it's like my fallback prospecting folders, because a lot of these people that I'm already friends with, I've been circling them the last 10 years, or so much time has gone by and we've never connected that now it feels weird. So I kind of just take those with, you know, the energy. I feel the energy of the conversation to decide where to direct it. And then obviously, you know, as they engage with you, you're going to decide where you want to bring them next. And then I need to get this out of the way. This is blocking everything. So this is, I kind of broke it down right here, like the holding tank. We have our new friends. Saturdays, you can broadcast them to try and connect. If they haven't connected with you yet, they should only be in your new friend folder if you're not conversating. If they're active and conversating, they're automatically going to go to the warm up folder for either MGC or what other business or products or services you're offering. But if you have connected with this person and they're not responding to you, and you send out a broadcast on like Saturday to try and connect them, you move them to the holding tank, they stay in that holding tank. You leave them in there if there's no response, right? If they do respond, great. Now you're talking, you're forming them, location, occupation, recreation, dreams. You're getting to know them. You're taking them from cold to warm. So then you can move them to a warm up folder. If they're not responding, you leave them in the holding tank. And then on Monday, send a weekend check-in. And then again, you're going to have to determine what you want to do. Do you want to keep it with friends? Do you want to remove them?
It's
right?
Day where we unmask the energy.
So
Gotta
Maria,
mute.
can I ask a question?
Yes.
Actually, the holding tank, one folder would be enough, because when they're in there until they fly out.
Yeah. Well, for me, I'll still keep it separated by week 1, 2, 3, 4. Because for my own, like if you want just one holding tank, keep them in one holding tank. For me and my brain, like I need to know when I last contacted them so that I don't contact them again too soon, or I don't wait too long. That's why I have week 1, 2, 3, 4, because if all of a sudden August rolls by and I still have 85 people in there by the time I'm in the first week of August, and I need to get those 85 people out of my week 2 tank, I'm like, whoops. So that's why I did it that way. So I know, because otherwise, even when I had people like in a general engage folder, I was like, when did I last broadcast this person? When did I last message them? And I could if I wanted to, but I felt like I was circling it. You know what I mean?
But you contact them only once a week. Every folder is contacted once a week.
Ideally, because you're moving people out, right? Like people aren't really supposed to stay there.
And the second question, warm up folder, is for the Lord. So where do you live? What is your occupation? What do you do for your hobbies? And what are your dreams? And then you get them into the business opportunity, ask the question.
Pretty much, because what happens is if I'm talking, these kids are distracting. I gotta shut that door in a minute. What's happening is in between like the new friend folder, hang on a minute. I can't think straight. My kids are just super loud. Hold on.
Vic,
What's up? What was the question? We're talking about staying organized with your
I came up with
follow-ups.
some other ideas with Sven, Vic. As you can see, this giant mess of a flow chart on my screen.
Hey, it looks pretty good. You
I was
need
gonna
to know,
say,
you guys need to know about Miro maps. It's even better than Canva for this.
I was trying some other ones, like using the Google spreadsheets and this, and I was like, screw this, I'm just gonna use Canva.
Can I make a public service announcement about Google Sheets real quick? Actually, I'll come back to it because I'm getting a call. I'll put it in the chat.
All right. So let's go back to this holding tank and the Lord process, Carmela. So my thought process is that in between this person being in the week 1 through 4, if they're responding to me, I'm already lording them, right? They're kind of sitting there, and I'm not going to just move someone the minute we're talking. Like if they're actively talking to me and we're having a conversation, like I'm going to kind of get those first couple of questions out. And a lot of times I get that out with one question. Like I say, what all keeps you busy? And when I say what all keeps you busy, then I know that they have a business, they don't have a business, they have a full-time job, they have a family, they have a farm, they have pets, they have kids that are in sports. When I ask that loaded question, that's usually right away where it's like, I know this person's going to MGC warm up or this person's going to Melaleuca warm up. So then I automatically will move them to that warm up because they're actively engaging with me. The holding tank is kind of that space where if those new friends are not engaging with you. So then I have them in the warm up folder. I'm continuing the conversation. The idea is to just be, you know, if you, the idea is to get to the point of the ask as fast as you can at the right appropriate time, right? Like you want to make sure your prospect is getting warm enough if you haven't already done so. And if you find in your conversation, like they're talking with you and you're finding out like, I work a job, but I don't love it. I would love to go to Disney with my family, but we can't afford it. And you're like, the end of the LORD process, you're like, hey, I don't know if this would make sense for you, but what if I could show you a way so that you could work less hours, make more money and save to take your family to Disney? Would that be something you're open to taking a look at? Boom. Then I go and put them in my ask folder, right? But let's say this person's putzing because they're busy and they're not getting back to my questions for 24 hours. They're still staying in that warm up folder because they're taking a long time to get back to me, which is understandable. Social media, people don't typically sit there like answering right away. That's why I have the warm up folder. So I don't forget. So I make sure I'm engaging with them through the week. If I have not been able to get that conversation to the point of an ask prior to Friday, then on Friday, I'm going to go in and ATQ, right? I'm going to use my broadcast to send out my message, whether it's for MGC, whether it's for Melaleuca. So if it's for MGC, my broadcast might look something like, and typically with MGC, I'm getting to the point faster. It depends on how fast that person's responding to me. That's really all there is to it. But if I'm talking to people and they're taking a while to respond, Friday comes around, I'm going to do my ask the question. I'm going to say, hey, by the way, has anybody ever shared MGC with you? Are you using anything to help you organize and generate like tons of leads on Facebook? I found something that's been really helpful and I wanted to share. Or if I'm doing it from Melaleuca, it might be something like, hey, I totally forgot to ask you when we were talking the other day, has anyone ever shared Melaleuca with you? Like it's a very, I don't get all hypey. This is my personality. Like I've done the hype train. I want to get to the point. I'm kind of more casual, like, oh, I forgot to ask. Have
You're not hypey?
Not really. No.
Hyper.
Hyper, yes, hypey. No. Difference, right? So another way I might ask is something like, for Melaleuca, hey, I don't know if this is affecting or not, but these inflation prices are driving me nuts. And I really just think it's important to share something that's helping families save money. Like, are they hurting you too? Like I might, it depends, whatever. So then what I do with
in old school networking, they would call that you're building rapport. You're trying to get an alignment with them in their head. How are you doing? If you have kids and you have, they have kids and you have kids, go, this summer's been tough. We had to cut back on some of the activities, inflation, blah, blah, whatever. And if they agree, then you're in alignment with them because they agree with what you're saying about high prices. Oh,
hang on one second.
Yeah, so I just want to put my 2 cents about this flow chart is that, there's a lot of different ways to use the program, but I think we need a good first solid pass that use it this way before you do it on your own. Because that way everybody will have the same. This is like our McDonald's franchise book.
Yes.
Right? Something like this. Because everybody wants to go start doing their own thing from day one. No, we don't want you to do that. We want you to do this first because we want you to get into engagement. To me, the biggest purpose of this program and software is that it does the activities for you. From the activities, then you're going to find the leads. They're either going to lead themselves in or they're going to lead themselves out.
But if you don't use the labels and start moving people around, you'll start talking to them too much. And then they'll shut up. They'll just lock up because like this guy's being weird. Dave's all of a sudden weirdo. He's weird. he's weird, Dave. Now he's asking me, what about this and what about that? Because I'm not using my labels. Like that's the most important that I found is taking those labels. I do a lot of work on my phone, so you can't label from there. So now when you get home to your computer, you know, you better start working on those labels, man. That should be that's my number one thing to start.
When I used to be in accounting, we used to have what they call internal accounting checklists. And it was a day-by-day checklist from workday number 1 all the way to workday number 30. And with this, it sort of kind of gives me the same feel, because I can go to today is a Thursday of week 2.
Yes.
And so, you know, week 2 tells me where I'm at. Because I've always believed that you can start the whole month. It's always begin the end of the month with a lot of activity, and then you use the last 2 months to sort them all out and you know, figure out who's going to be your signups and who's going to be your sales and who's going to be gone.
There's a lot going on in the system. So, and having Maria here to explain the other aspects of everything that MGC offers, you know, and what Ed has, you know, just there has to be something like this, because on your own, it would take forever to try to figure out, and people just drop off.
They do, and this is what's good about this is that I think that we ought to have one first cut like this. Like I said, it's let Bo go run the business, go take care of technology and all that kind of stuff. But Maria, you're right on the money here, because this is what people need to know what to do, because everybody's already been trained for jobs. So this is their job in their business. This is their job. Go in there, start checking people and do that.
Also, you know, I found out with the person that I signed up, they'll suck your time. And, you know, it's not like we're making $100 for a month for after everybody that signs up. We're making $20. Somebody's sucking your time. From now on, for me, it's just like get on 7 o'clock. And if you can't get on at 7 o'clock and hang out here, then don't waste my time, because you got to learn. You have to sit there. You've got to watch the videos. You've got to come on here. You've got to put the time in to try to figure it out, or at least listen. But if you're not willing to put in the time and you're expecting me to figure it out for you, it's not going to happen. Now with this system, it's too complicated. And at $20, no way. Get on here. If you can't, then you want to quit. I mean, I'm not being brutal. I'm just saying we want people that are real, that really want to learn and really want to grow with this business, and then they can share it. Just my 2 cents.
So you said something, Rick, too, that brought up a thought where you were talking about, you know, the first 30 days is getting that activity going, and the last 2 months is sorting. And it is true. Like, their prospects go through a 90-day cycle. And if you're doing things right and you're engaging right, and you've asked that question soon enough, and then you're following up, not just, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? But you are fostering that relationship and building that rapport. It's a cycle. It's like by 90 days comes around, those people are ready to get started. But you have to do your job with making sure you expose them to the information, getting them in an ATM group so they're getting continual exposure, inviting them to overviews, inviting them to demos, showing them testimonies, because there's so much freaking noise. We can't show somebody something one time and expect that they're going to get it. They just won't.
Yeah, they won't. And this is, like I said, I have a master's, and this is confusing for me. So, and I've worked in Fortune 500, Fortune 50 companies, and this is, again, it's hard. And remember, this business is supposed to be done by part-timers. Anybody can do it. We should get to the part where anybody could do it.
Yeah, well, and I feel like we're on our way there, but I feel like a lot of it has to do with it. People just don't know how to apply it in their own business, right? And that's kind of like what my goal is, to show people, like, this is how you can apply it for your business, but not only that, build another income stream by using the CRM.
And like Rick's saying, you're setting up a system. That's what we need, is the people need a system. A checklist, boom, boom, boom.
There's a system of software, and that works on the back end, but we need a system on the front end that says, when you come in, you're going to do these 3 things. You're going to set so they set these things up, and then you're ready to start the activity. And the activity is not once a day. It's a daily thing. You got to put some time into the daily activity. And so this is right out of the playbook of Ray Higdon, all those guys that just, Eric Worre. This is doing their stuff.
Yeah, you got to let people know this is going to be work. There's going to be glitches, and you could possibly end up in jail. If you can't handle those three things, you're in trouble. I can't wait till my person goes to jail. And it's gonna hit the fan when that happens. I'm the master of jail. I've been to jail so many times that now I have to really, and this is where we need to tell people too, you need to slow down to speed up, because I went bam right in there and started really going for it, and bam, I was in
So,
jail. And
That's a
now
good point. Go ahead. I'm sorry, David.
now I've been in jail so many times. If I even make one move off the path, boom, I'm in jail. Like yesterday, I went to jail. I got out. But now I've got to do what Ed said. This week, I'm not going to do any new messages. I'm just going to do my Facebook, give it a week, and then I can start doing new conversations. Just because they let me go to jail with no new conversations doesn't mean go in there, Dave, and start doing new conversations. We have so many tools to do with my go-karts, especially if you have platinum. There's tools beyond tools. There's so many tools we can't even use them all. So start using the other tools. Start using Spy. Start using
And that,
My
being
new
said-
guy that signed up, I told him you only had 200 people. Go so slow. And we're not going overboard. And do not write a message to the connector. And he got 400 people in less than a week. But he's going very slow. I'd rather go slow to get yourself in trouble.
Yeah. And that's so crucial, is like finding out what their normal level of activity is so that they're doing it right. But that's, something when I'm doing training, I ask them, like, how many people are you adding right now? Are you active in Messenger? I look at their Messenger so that I can guide them accordingly. Like, okay, this is how many you should probably start with. Let's go back so I can just finish going over this process, and then we can move on to whatever. But
We don't want to finish. We don't want to finish.
no, I just mean with the CRM part. I'm just laughing at my flowchart. So you guys don't know how long it took me yesterday.
Not
Like,
me. I'm falling in love with it. I'm like,
I was
God,
so squirrel brain, and this is what I did the entire day yesterday, and I ignored everybody. So I apologize if I ignored your message. Okay, so you've asked them if they'll take a look at either MGC or their other business, and here's what happens. If no, leave them here. Oh, this is the other side of it. So if you've got people in the warm up, you're going to start engaging with them through the week. You're going to try to take it to the point of an ask before Friday. And if not, you're using the broadcaster on Friday. Engaging means thoughtful, loving, giving value, going on their profile, seeing if they actually have posts in the first place to engage with, going in their stories, like just getting to know them and warming them up so that they're recognizing. Sometimes they don't even know that they're doing it and they're not paying attention, but psychologically or whatever it is that happens in their brain, they're going to recognize your name because they're going to see it somewhere, right? So then when you go for the ask, I don't know what it is. It's just the way it works. So then if they don't answer you, you leave them in here. But the thing is like, if you're leaving people in here, how long are you going to leave them in here for? Right? Like, we don't want to just keep people on here forever. I mean, people come around eventually. A lot do. But you're going to have to touch point with these people again at some point, maybe next month, maybe in 2 months, maybe make it a quarterly, whatever you want to do. At some point, you're going to need to broadcast here again to try and reignite the fire. Hey, did you see my message? I'm just curious if this is something that interests you. If not, no biggie. I just want to check, right? That type of thing. Now, here's where we go from here. If they said, yes, they're interested in hearing more about what you have, then you're putting them in qualifying. This is where you're still getting to know them a little bit more, finding out about what their goals are, what it is they're looking to achieve. You're trying to find those pain points, right? And then you send your info. And here's the deal that happens. You're talking to someone and they're like, and you're like, hey, when do you have 13 minutes to take out of your life to potentially change the rest of your life? And they're like, oh, I don't know, maybe later this week. They're not as hot as someone who says, I can look at it right now, or I can look at it at 7 o'clock tonight. So people who are responding to me with that kind of a response, I'm going to leave them in qualifying because they're not qualified yet, right? They're not hot to trot to check it out and change their life. But if they're like, yeah, I can check it out right now, or I'll check it out at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Okay, awesome. I'll message you at 3. I'll send you the info. Once I've sent the info, I'm moving them here. Now, this is where I want to start going through the process of inviting them to a live demo. If I need to get on a live demo, getting on a live demo, I'm sending them my page. I'm inviting them to the ATM group. I'm tagging them in testimonies, right? Because I want them to be saturated with the information because it's not a one-time done deal. And then I'm going to move them to the info sent follow-up. FU follow-up. That's just that first follow-up. Have you had a chance to check everything out? What do you like best about what you saw? Because I want to be able to broadcast and just differentiate and know right away, like what this message needs. That's why I didn't want to move them right away to the Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. So from here, if they're checking it out, but they're still dragging, well, then I'm going through my normal follow-up, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. My follow-up's not always going to be, are you ready to get started? Like it's going to be other things, checking in, connecting, giving them value. It takes forever sometimes. It's annoying, but that's just the way it is. If they've sent it and they're like, I am in, I want to do this, I'm putting them in a join folder, because those are two differentiates of people, right? One is like raising their hand, I'm in, I want this, whether it's for Melaleuca, whether it's for MGC, whether it's for whatever. And the other one is, I'm interested, this looks really great. And you're still just needing to drip on them, right? And then from there, we have bi-weekly, we have monthly, we have joining your team. Eventually, maybe pending deletion, and do a yearly check-in. You have to decide. It's going to be different for everybody. And again, here, if you're using the cold, bold messaging method, using the connector and the prospect responds with a yes, you're going to move them to qualifying immediately. You'll skip past all that other stuff in the funnel. Okay. So that's what I'll have to say about that. We good?
We're good. I got to run now, but Maria, thanks again for everything. You're awesome.
Well, you guys rock. It's always fun conversating and brainstorming. I love it. What other kinds of questions? We still have a few minutes here. So what other questions do we have that are specific that you need help with or want to talk about?
What about if the broadcaster, what if it's not sending your friends to the broadcaster? Like, I got new friends, but it's not they're not going into the broadcaster, and it says, you know, that where it says add new friends, or what do you do if can you manually add them, or what? Or as long as you put them in a label, it'll go to the broadcast?
So like they didn't add you and accept your request, but they're
No.
talking to you?
No, broadcaster, you have so many friends, right?
Well, the CRM.
The CRM.
CRM.
Yeah, I'm sorry, the CRM, you have so many friends, right? You add a new friend, they're not getting into the CRM. The CRM is not. Are we supposed to? I thought they would be added automatically.
No, just because you're talking to somebody doesn't mean they're going to get a label.
No, I'm not
Right.
talking about labels. I'm talking about I just friended somebody. I put them
But
in a
you have to label
connector.
them.
I got to go label them to get them over
Well,
to CRM.
That's why it's part of my daily method of operation. Every morning I'm going to my profile, I'm clicking on friends, and I'm clicking on recently added, and automatically I'm putting them in a new friend label for the week. That's what the purpose of that is.
Otherwise,
So
they're unlabeled.
Otherwise they stay unlabeled, because if they're not talking to me and they haven't accepted my friend request, they're not going to my CRM. Yeah. And the easiest way to do that is, you know, obviously if you're talking with somebody and you can see that they've accepted your friend request, you can move them to a label right then and there if they're unlabeled. But otherwise, I'm in every morning, I'm on my friends list, recently added, new friend, new friend, new friend, new friend.
How fast are you talking to them if they accept your friend request from, say, like that cleaning lady stuff that I go into? Immediately, are you seeing something like, hey, thanks for accepting my friend request?
So what I'm going to be doing is every Saturday, anybody that's still in my new friend folder, I'm going to broadcast to connect with them. If we happen to connect prior to that, better. But I'm not going to see what happens is I get super overwhelmed or stressed out and feel like I have too many people to talk to. So that's how I simplified it for myself. Saturdays, new friends. If we happen to connect and conversate prior to that, cool. But I'm not going to it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to take time to try to.
A good thing about this now too, we're going to see how many new friends we get a week and check the numbers.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, on the other side of that is we should be tracking our numbers, guys. Now, I mean, the CRM is to me, the most important thing is adding new people, having conversations, follow up, but you have to keep track. It's a business. We have to track our numbers. So if every single month, after the end of the month, on the 1st, take that time to look at your CRM and look at how many new friends did I have? How many people did I get to the point of an ask? How many people said yes? How many people said no? How many people move forward? Then because you're auditing to make sure, right? If our numbers are slower for enrolling, typically it's because we're not having conversations. We're not asking enough people to take a look. And if we are asking enough people to take a look, the other flip side of it is we're not following up. That's all there is to it. It's asking and following up.
And if you get them, let's say you're doing the, your Melaleuca. So you just friended them from Melaleuca. They're going, are you putting them in separate ones like MGC Melaleuca? Or are you just putting them in a friends folder and then from there you're going to sort them?
I put everybody in a new friend folder if we
Mhm.
haven't talked yet. If we start talking and I start forming them location, occupation, recreation, dreams, I automatically know if they're going to Melaleuca or if they're going to MGC.
Wow.
So then I put them in a warm up and then I'm engaging. And then I'm getting to the point of an ask within that week. I don't want to putz and wait.
So
Right?
you don't care where they came from. They're going into new friends. And then from there, you're going to
Because
figure
it's
out
too
what they are.
confusing. It's way
Yeah.
too confusing to try to differentiate if you're growing multiple businesses like, oh, this is a prospect for this, or this is no, all new friends, get to know them, ask them questions, find their needs. Oh, they're going this way. Nope, they're going this way. And sometimes I have somebody here thinking I'm going to prospect them for this, and then something changes in our conversation and I'm moving them. I go, oh, nope, they're going over here actually.
Okay, don't be so narrow-minded.
Because we don't know them. So we don't know what they need yet until we find out. And I mean, it's exhausting, guys. Peopling is tiring. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I don't love peopling. I hate peopling. But I know that if I'm constantly using a bold or a cold message to get to the point and ask, which can be nice and convenient sometimes, it takes a lot longer. I have to go through 100 people to get maybe 5 to 10 who say, yes, I'll take a look. And out of those 5 to 10 who say, yes, I'll take a look, one might turn into a qualified. And then I'm still trying to build rapport and build the trust. So instead, I'm going the other way. That's me. That's what I like to do.
Yeah. Who's got that?
David, did you see what I wrote in the chat? I have a caveat to what Maria is saying. Like, if you're only adding people from a very specific niche group and you're deleting your pending friend requests every 24 hours, you can go ahead and add a niche label to those people. I'm
Right.
building a flute music business. I'm only adding people from flute related groups. So they go into a label now that's like flute 0. If someone happens to respond to that and I find out they're hanging out in the flute group and they're not a flute player, then they get moved to like Vic's friends week 1 or whatever.
Yeah. You have to just differentiate like what makes sense for you. Right.
Yep.
But again, do the income producing activities and don't do too much busy work. I am always guilty of busy work. I mean, I feel like I'm busier now than I've ever been since I've been, taken out at MGC, but I love it. And I'm okay with that. Like, I don't have FOMO. I used to have FOMO if I wasn't hitting my numbers, right? Because I'm very much a numbers person. I'm very, very red and yellow at the same time, and green and blue. Like, I'm all of them. But like, I forgot what I was going to say, the point I was going to make. It's that income producing activity. It's asking and following up, exposing, asking, following up, and expose it. Like, it's all of those. It has to be done or we will never move forward. So, all right. Anything else specific before we hop off here? What day is it today? Thursday? Okay. Carmel, you got a good grip on that? You feel good? Okay. Do you guys like the new thought process with the CRM? Do you think it's confusing?
Well, you're definitely going to post this so we can go over it.
Yeah. I mean, I was confusing myself when I was doing it. But I was like, no, we need just one.
You know what, Maria, I'm sitting here thinking of what your brain was going to yesterday. I'm laughing my head off right now. Like, sorry, I can just
And
see
then my
Maria
kids were
going,
like talking to me and I'm like, I'm trying to concentrate on a flow. Like, I'm learning something I don't know how to do right now. So I can make it easier for everyone that I show this to. Stop talking to me.
I get to see Maria in the corner of the bathroom trying to hide.
So the point is that Maria's been at this over a year and see where she's at, and she's super smart on this stuff. Imagine the average person. They're not going to get this.
That's why I spent so much time doing it, is because I experienced the pain of it. And I
Yeah.
said, I know that, I mean, this is so brilliant. This entire system, everything Bo's doing is brilliant. But I know from being in my own shoes, even though I'm techie, even though I'm system oriented, something more needed to come of it to make it easier, because not everyone's going to take the time to figure it out. It just took me a long freaking time.
This is the problem I have with my team. I have people in my team at different levels. I'm like, I don't want to say mentality, but you get my point. Do I have to go to each one and work with each one to see where they are and talk a different way for each one? So it is raining and it is kind of crazy. But at the same time, they have to go on the onboard. They have to go to the Zoom and like, how am I out here? I can't do this by myself without you guys.
Yeah. It
Like-
has to be, here's the thing, if we want to even grow MGC, it has to be duplicatable so
Mhm.
that you aren't eating your time because you're trying to use these tools to grow your own business. So therefore, it's going to make people shy away on sharing these tools because you think about the amount of time you have to put in to help people build it. No, send them to the trainers. That's what the trainers are here for. Encourage them. You want to use these tools so that you can save time, so that you can grow and scale. Get on 9 a.m., 5 p.m. or 9 p.m. It's non-negotiable until you have it down pat. If you have it down pat, cool. Then you don't have to get on them anymore unless you have a quick question and you can hop on, raise your hand, say I have a question, and then you can go. People don't need to stay on here for the whole hour. If they just need quick help, like boom, get on, get off. There's no requirement or expectation. But if we don't funnel people to these calls, you're going to have a hard time sharing these tools because you're not going to have time to build your business. But that's the purpose of this. It's supposed to be simple. It's supposed to be a very simple side income stream for you to add on top of what you're already doing. And it can be. Send them my way. Let me help you.
Exactly. I'm
So
trying to do
Maria,
it.
go back to the washroom, put your blanket over your head and go hide and like recuperate from yesterday.
I
No,
was thinking like, Maria, you're gonna like be under the covers with your computer. I totally get what you're saying. It's like, it's kind of like a delicate thought process, right? And so like if a train rushes past or like the kids like
Like
are,
6 trains.
Oh, yeah, distractions.
It lit all day long yesterday. That's what I was doing. Literally, like right after I got off of Zoom, that's all I was doing was playing with the labels and trying to fine tune and trying to learn how to create a flow chart. And I was like, I gotta make sense. It's gotta make sense.
You know it's bad when you're
And I
dreaming
spent
of,
an
you know,
hour Zooming on it.
you know it's bad when you're dreaming about it.
I dreamed about the board. Like,
I
with
was
That's what
dreaming
it's
about
bad.
this label problem like at 5 a.m. this
You're dreaming
morning.
about
I had to get up and figure it out. I
It'll be
figured
a
it
Swear
out.
to God, my brain does not shut down. My brain is like working 24 and 24. Last night at 10 o'clock, I go, that's it. I'm done. Like it literally like just walk away, but my brain could not shut down. I go, snap. I go, Maria, help me, like shut me down. Press the button, like turn me off. Like seriously.
Just go jump in your pool.
I've got to go now.
Hi, Heather.
Bye.
All right, guys, let's
Bye.
wrap it up.
Bye and
Alright.
bye.
Bye.
See you guys. I think tomorrow's Friday. Are we? Tomorrow, Friday? What day are we? I have no
Yeah,
clue.
it is. All right, y'all. Have a fantastic day. Appreciate you. You're amazing. Let's go
Bye,
crush
guys.
it.
Make sure you share this.
I will, and I actually remember to record it today. Like a
Thank
good
you
girl.
very much for everything.
Welcome.
So
Bye, guys.
Barbara, reach out if you want help, okay? Barbara, wherever you were.
Yeah, thank
Bye.
Bye.